All right, mate. How you doing?
Yes, all good. How are you?
I'm also good. Should we jump right into the movie news then?
Jump right in.
Okay. Right. Off the top, we've got Tenet. Christopher Nolan saying that Tenet's gonna keep its release date in July. Do you think that is plausible, or depending on the situation, is there a good chance it'll still move?
Yeah, it's really hard to say at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopeful. Obviously, like as film fans, we're really hopeful.
Yeah.
See what a treat it would be. The first time we could go and put our bums in seats in theaters is with Tenet. Christopher Nolan, like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say masterpiece, but we don't know. Just assuming already. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly the same. Like if we are gonna go back to cinemas in July and to have like the only film out being Tenet for some time, it's like a dream come true, really. Because these films just don't come around that often. No.
Extra bit special because we'll be coming back to that. But no, yeah, as things as it stands look like it's quite a possibility, I guess. But things are changing all the time with this pandemic, so
yeah. So you remain hopeful then?
Yeah, I remain hopeful. Yeah, and
cool.
Also, like, will theaters will be struggling, by
yeah
July, I feel, but
yeah. All right. The next news topic is a Hunger Games prequel movie has officially been announced, written by Deadline. The film will be called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, based off the new book. Are you bothered, or what do you think?
Reading a bit about it, of what it's actually about, isn't it Suzanne Collins is actually releasing a new book?
Yes, she is releasing a novel, yeah.
And it's going to be based off that?
Yeah.
And it's about, like, President Snow's early years?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, when he's a young boy, or a young teenager. I can't quite remember.
I think he's about 18.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I enjoyed the first Hunger Games film. I really liked the second Hunger Games film, and I just did not care about part 3 or 4. I thought they were just a bit like butter spread over too much bread.
Yeah, and you aren't a fan of butter.
Yeah, it's kind of feels like they're milking it a little bit, but then again, there's also the potential it could be good. So,
and it's like, I mean, I'm sure there's a fan base out there, but I think that the Hunger Games, kind of their audience dropped a little bit towards the last film.
Yeah.
It's been a while now. Like, a lot of people will, whether they'll be that interested, but Hunger Games seems to have really started that whole, young adult kind of genre, and it made that's kind of sent in into Divergent being made into film.
Yeah. But they've all grown up. That generation's all grown up now. Probably too old for those films, so.
Yeah. We'll see, but
yeah.
We don't know what the story fully is. It could be
a
classic story.
Yeah,
I agree with you about the Hunger Games though. About second one's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Next piece of news is Variety have reported that The Mandalorian Season 3 is already in the works at Disney. They write, the October premiere date for season 2 of The Mandalorian may still feel like it's far, far away, but pre-production has already begun on the third installment of the widely popular Disney Plus series, Variety has learned. Sources close to the production have confirmed that creator Jon Favreau has been writing season 3 for a while, and that the art department, led by Lucasfilm Vice President and Executive Creative Director Doug Chiang, has been creating concepts for season 3 for the past few weeks. What do you think about this? Personally, I think it shows a lot of confidence. They're kind of getting ahead of the game. And the longer you have to work on something, it's never a bad thing.
Just shows that even now that season 2, they're quite happy with what being produced.
Yeah.
And I think, is it season 2? Is it scheduled to be released later?
Yeah, it's still scheduled for like October, is it? I think.
So,
Yeah.
So hopefully that all goes to plan. And yeah, but in terms of season 1, then I know you've watched all season 1.
Yeah. I loved most of it. Didn't love all of it. But it's Star Wars TV show. Like, it's a well-made gunslinger story about a Mandalorian in the outer rim of space. Like, dude. It's like a dream come true. Like, it's like something I would make up in my head a few years ago. Like, oh, I wish they'd do this.
Like 5 years ago, if someone had told you that, you know.
Yeah. No, that's really awesome. What did you think about season 1?
I haven't actually watched season 1 yet. It's on the list. It's very close to being watched. I'll be watching it in the next month, I would say. But yeah, I think that I'll probably just watch it in quite close together, you know. But yeah, looking forward to it. I've obviously been spoiled, I won't say, but I've been spoiled about one of the characters.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, I think I have as well. I think if I know what you're talking about, I'm not sure.
In season 1, the character that's introduced.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about season 2. There was reports of a. Sorry, I misheard you then. No. Oh, okay. I don't know if you've heard any reports about season 2 characters being introduced, but yeah.
I haven't heard the reports yet. No, I've been staying away from season 2 news because
Okay. Yeah.
I get season 1 watched, so.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Cool.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a discussion about that in a later episode.
No.
Okay, I think that's all the news we have at the minute. Okay, so for our first main topic of the podcast, let's talk about delayed films and what has been moved, what hasn't, what our thoughts are on how close some of the films are together now.
Yeah.
Okay, Wonder Woman 1984 is supposed to come out on August 14th. Now, there was some news today or yesterday about one of the actresses in the film. She doesn't believe, or she's skeptical about it coming out on time.
Well, that kind of makes you think then, well, then how could we even consider that if Tenet come out in July, or possibly come out in July, then surely Wonder Woman should be okay for August. But
yeah,
I think it'll keep its release date. If I had to say one way or the other, I think it'll be out in August. Hopefully.
Do you think there'll still be social distancing at that time?
That's the thing too. We need to talk about that. Like, how are theaters going to work? I know in my local cinema before the lockdown and before the pandemic here in the UK, my local cinema introduced seating spare seats between every seat.
Yeah.
So you didn't have someone on either side of you.
Yeah.
Even if you went with someone in your household, like one of my colleagues went with his daughter, and they had to sit with a seat between them, free. So I
didn't. Yeah.
And they traveled there in the car together, but that's a whole other thing. But
Yeah.
just safety, and it'll probably be a different landscape for a while, won't it?
It will. Yeah. I can see studios not wanting to put films out with social distancing happening if there's competition at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be the same with Tenet, which we'll talk about in a second, but Wonder Woman and Tenet, if they are released, then potentially they could be the only films out at that time. So there would be no other competition, so they can fill all the screens. Yeah. Therefore, that wouldn't be so much of a problem. Yeah.
That does seem like, that's probably the likely option at the moment for them. Because obviously the studios will be thinking about profit and the gross. But yeah, what about Wonder Woman 1984 then? How excited are you for the actual film?
To be honest, I've not really thought about it. I watched the trailer once and enjoyed it. I think it'll be good. Yeah. Hopefully, Patty Jenkins gets more creative control this time. I know, like the third act of the first Wonder Woman film was heavily like, oh, we need a big CGI fight, and that was by far the worst part of the film. So, yeah, I think it'll be good. I like the tone. Who's the villain again? It's Pedro Pascal. Is that right? I think he looks.
Is it Kristen Wiig?
Yeah, she's in it as well. I don't know much about the characters, so.
Oh, and then is it a spoiler to say about the other character who's going to be in it?
No, because he's in the trailers.
Yeah, he's in the trailer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, Chris Pine's back. Yeah.
Chris Pine's back. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, any idea? I have no idea about how he comes back, but I'm sure.
I wonder if it'll be like something to do with a god, like giving her a wish or granting her something that she desires most. Maybe. I don't know. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know. It might have just been in the comments of a video. I don't know. Yeah. No Time to Die. My third most anticipated film of the year. Absolutely gutted that it isn't out, and we're watching it now. But that's been moved to November 25th. We're assuming by then that that'll be fine. No social distancing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I remember Skyfall came out around a similar time.
Yep. Made $1 billion.
And Bond films, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Bond films usually have came out around that time.
I wouldn't know, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think they have. I definitely remember going to see Skyfall around that time when it was released in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll be real anticipation for there's real anticipation anyway for the Bond, and yeah, it does look fantastic.
It just seemed to be like Daniel Craig just seemed to be happier in interviews when he was touring about it, and that's a good sign to me that he was happy.
He wasn't that happy after the actor, was he?
No.
The infamous comments about what he was. Yeah, I'm not even...
What did he say? He'd rather cut himself or something like.
Yeah. Bond again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of dark.
Funny though, not funny, but like, isn't it like strange that they'll say something like that just in an interview, like maybe just without even thinking. And it's just picked up, and it's reminded
Yeah,
3 years. Like,
could have been a throwaway comment.
yeah.
Black Widow. Black Widow has now taken the Eternals spot in November, and it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, have they all been shifted across one release date?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
So Eternals is now in February, I think.
Okay.
Was Shang-Chi was meant was meant to be in February.
Yeah.
So it's moved as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that actually works quite well. They're quite lucky in that way that they had those release dates set for so long that they could just shift the movies all down one.
Yeah.
Because...
It's given me a real sense of like that Endgame was the end, and it's gone on like it feels like an end. It feels like a proper finale now, because there's been a huge gap between Endgame and Far From Home together, and it's like a huge over a year. Wait, it'll be a year and a half until Black Widow now.
It does. It'll be nearly a year and a half to Black Widow, and it'll just come back, and it'll be a character that you're familiar with, but with a whole new story and kind of like out on her own.
Yeah.
And then introduced then into a whole other new set of characters in film with the Eternals.
The Eternals sounds so good to me. It's like spanned over like millennia with space gods and whatever beings. I don't know. It just sounds crazy.
Yeah. The cast is just pure gold. I think anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. But yeah, you're right. That Endgame now feels like a real, and Far From Home is like the epilogue. Feels like just that, like a book, and then now we're on to the second part. So can't wait.
And all these people, there's a lot of people saying that the MCU won't be able to reach the same heights as it has. I completely disagree.
Yes.
Like I'm just like, what are you talking about? Endgame is going to make people want more.
And trust in Kevin Feige.
We're going to be introduced to more characters, and they're going to do the exact same thing and build it on top of what they already have, and it's just going to be layer upon layer until it's just, maybe people will eventually get burnt out by it and be like, right, I'm done with this. But I think as long as they're quality films, they tie in together smartly, they have these huge event films like Avengers, it's always going to be successful, at least for the next decade, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, the train's going to keep running down the track at speed. So what else has moved?
So Batman has been delayed to October 2021 now, going head to head with Uncharted, the same day as Uncharted.
Hey.
Do you think Uncharted will move?
Yes.
Oh, it's not the same day, sorry. It's the week before. Batman's the week before. Yeah.
I personally still think that Uncharted will move, because Uncharted is just used to moving now, and it's just used to being jumping around. Like, it's been bouncing around, feels like, for years.
Yeah.
Even though hearing that Tom Holland had went on set for the first day and then they had to close.
Yeah.
That did make me feel a bit excited. Like, I genuinely am looking, as I know we both are Uncharted fans of video games.
Yeah.
So it's actually you that introduced me to Uncharted. Big fans. Can't wait for the film. But I think it will move. Yeah.
It's interesting that I can't think of his name. Mark, who's
Mark.
playing Sully, Mark Wahlberg. He was originally going to be Drake, Nathan Drake. Yeah, fuck, my memory is terrible. Yeah, and now he's playing Sully, and we're getting a younger Nathan. I think that's quite interesting because now we can hopefully get these characters playing these roles for like years, which would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
Seeing Tom Holland grow into the role would be quite good.
Yeah.
It's Mark. I have to say, Mark Wahlberg was not what I would imagine Sully to be, but I have faith in him as an actor.
Yeah.
And that he'll pull it off. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. And think
Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah. I'm so excited for this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, the set images or the images they release look really cool. Screen test. And I trust the filmmakers, trust the actors. So, yeah.
Yeah, the talent behind it is unreal.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves as well, coming off his
Apes. Yeah.
Apes trilogy, yeah.
Which were amazing.
Sequel of the the reboot of the Planet of the Apes.
Exactly, yeah. And now it's Dawn of the prequel of the sequel of the reboot of the Batman.
Oh, yeah.
But that is definitely gonna be one to look out for, and I think it'll make a lot of money, and it'll finally get Robert Pattinson the love he deserves because he's so good.
He's been doing his little indies for a good number of years, hasn't he?
Yeah. The Lighthouse, he was so good in. But yeah.
Breaking Dawn Part 2, he was brilliant.
Our final point on this topic is Venom has a new title, Let There Be Carnage, and it moves to June 2021, just 3 weeks before Spider-Man 3, which is pretty interesting. I don't know if Spider-Man 3 has been moved, though, because it's not... Disney haven't moved it because it's a Sony release date. So...
No, it's all...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think Spider-Man 3 will move?
I hope not. But possibly. I mean, who knows? We're talking about next summer. We don't even really have an idea about, this summer. We're just
100%, yeah.
Things are jumping around all the time. I remain in hope that. But actually, now I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, right, they have to film it all and get the schedules back in order, and could be some form of social distancing.
Right, Spider-Man 3 has not even been filmed yet. No. So, yeah.
No. I think the plan was that they were going to film, well, Tom Holland was going to film Uncharted now, and then come to the summer, they were going to film Spider-Man.
Yeah. So it probably will be delayed.
Yeah, probably. And also, it probably fitted into Feige's plan of the release dates of the Marvel movies, so it probably will jump. You could even see it to the following summer, maybe.
Here's another question. What about the possibilities of Venom tying in with Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
Okay. So I'll ask you first, like what are your thoughts?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Hell yes. What about you?
Okay, so at the end we can say what happens in the trailer because the trailer's out there.
Yep.
So at the end,
Vulture.
at the end of the the Morbius trailer,
Yeah.
there is Vulture played by Michael Keaton turns up. So that, and then we have heard that Morbius is going to be in the same universe as Venom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We know that.
So there is, I think you're right that the Venom will tie into the Spider-Man and all of that in some way, and I think that Sony are probably going to see how popular, they know how popular Tom Holland is as Peter Parker, so they're going to really want to utilize that. But I just personally I don't really like it.
The thing is, right? Once Tom Holland's 2 more films with Disney are up and done, I think Sony want to keep him on as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that in their renegotiations last year, that they would have said, right, we want to kind of bring him into this universe as well. But to do that, it ties the 2 universes together.
Yes.
So if I don't know, part of New York was destroyed, that would have to be canon in the MCU as well.
Which is messy.
Could be, yeah.
Something that I really I can't. Not that I know Kevin Feige, but like,
Yeah.
not that I could see him going for something like that. Like, it's all been so tight so far with.
Yeah.
Marvel.
But then there's. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the only thing that I can think of, and this is what I hope happens, is that the multiverse becomes part of it, and that, there's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has been announced.
Good point.
Which has been said that's really, really important. So,
and Sam Raimi may be directing,
which is the link to the Sony Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
So, if there was, in my head, what I think would be great would be that if there's a multiverse introduced, and then the Sony universe is like another universe. And I don't know.
Like an alternate reality.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
So
and then
go on.
There's one more piece to this puzzle. Tom Hardy he posted on Instagram a picture of Venom eating Spider-Man, a drawing of it, and then it was taken down an hour later.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that is just fan art that he thought was cool or if it actually means something.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
That's quite a horrible image as well.
Oh yeah, it was like bloody. It was like a bloody image.
Well, then it makes you think, though, that maybe it was just that they were like, this is quite not appropriate. This isn't what we want you to. True.
An inappropriate, brand damaging type of thing. Yeah. It's interesting. My prediction is that he will have small ties in with the Venom universe, and then once Tom Holland's Spider-Man is out of the MCU, he will just have smaller contained stories against like the Sinister Six and things like that within the Sony universe.
Here's a question. Do you think that Tom Holland's Peter Parker, if he's in the Sony universe in future, that he will have all of his memories and experiences from the MCU? Or will
potentially not. If it's like you said with the multiverse, they can just ignore it.
But what if this is my thinking. What if Tom Holland's exit from the MCU is that he somehow goes to his Spider-Man, his Peter Parker leaves that universe and goes to the other universe?
That's true. Then yeah, I can see that happening.
Don't know, it's just a thought, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find out in a few years.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, that is topic number 1 done. Our second topic is like we discussed before, we're just gonna bring in some of our favorite TV shows, talk about why we like them.
Yes.
There's no limit on how many you want to talk about, so if you want to go first, yeah, go ahead.
How about we do one each at a time?
Yeah.
So can you guess which one I'm going to talk about first?
I can guess, but I'll let you say it.
Well, my favorite show is Lost because it is my favorite show, not because of the quality of the entire 6 seasons, but because of how much it has been a part of my life watching shows and watching TV shows. So I started watching Lost whenever the first season started airing on Channel 4 in the UK, which was like 2005.
Yeah.
I was like,
so how old are you? You just first year of high school or
like
senior school?
I think I was like leaving my primary school into the first year of secondary school.
Yeah.
So I used to watch it weekly. And the wait. I remember the wait between episodes, and like you get to those famous Lost cliffhangers or like a massive plot twist or.
I don't know how you did that.
And then, but it was so good because like online and if it was out now, it would be so much more. There would be so much more talk and speculation about it. But there was no Twitter.
Yeah.
There was no real Facebook back then.
Yeah.
I was going on like random like fan forums. Like any Lost fans, if you're really really big Lost fans, you'll have heard of this website called Dark UFO. I used to be absolutely like obsessed like with going on that website. Like I used to go on it all the time. Trying to avoid spoilers from like later episodes. But yeah, one thing that really sticks out for me is at the end of season 3, there's the very last scene, and I won't spoil it because if anybody is listening that hasn't seen Lost, but that is a real game-changing moment that is like really iconic.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
And that scene works so much better with the wait between seasons, because when I was watching Lost, you could just turn on the next episode straight away, and then immediately that sense of like shock and interest and speculation that you can have, it's all gone because you know what happens next.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of envious that you got to do that, but then again, there's about 121 episodes of the show. I don't know if I could have done it one at a time, one per week, one season a year. Yeah.
It was a real ride, like it was just such a good, amazing, like it's the best experience that I probably ever will have watching a TV show. And Lost really is like a real pioneer for like opening up like all that mystery and intrigue and like speculation towards the TV show, because there was a massive thing about like during the whole week between the episodes. Like a big discussion online, and it was huge.
And that's another quick point I want to add to that is with the binge model now on Netflix and Amazon, you don't get that.
Yeah. Like for example, Stranger Things, when it comes out, it's it's all out there straight away, and then within a few weeks, like there's less chat about it.
And I loved it at first, but now I kind of prefer the week-to-week model, like how Disney have done it. It's nice to have both, yeah.
But yeah, Lost first season's my favorite.
I'd agree with you.
Yeah, because the characters, Lost is, people used to complain about like about mysteries and Lost and about they wanted so many things answered, but it was all down to the characters really in the end.
100%.
How amazing they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I quite like the story, and I'm one of the people that liked the ending as well.
Me too.
But some of the story did have weak elements to it, plot holes, but it didn't matter because the characters were so good in the end. Yeah.
There are when I rewatch it again, there are some things that annoy me. That I'm like, why did you make that decision? But you know, it was a huge show at the time. They were under so much pressure as well, and you know, for what it was fantastic. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
my number one. What is your?
So my my favorite TV show of all time. I don't know if I've told you this. You might be able to guess it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ah, okay. I didn't think it would be on your top.
Yeah. It's it's not been my favorite for long.
Yeah.
But I've seen it all the way through now 3 or 4 times, and no other show can make me laugh as much as that show. It's just outrageous, absolutely outrageous, everything about it. And I find it so weird. Why isn't it super popular? I don't understand. Like, I mean, it has a big following, but it's not big like The Office or something like that. Maybe because it's like a little bit more edgy or a lot more edgy.
Edgy is definitely the word for it. Yeah.
But again, it's the characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Like the show does not work without the characters. It's a show about how 5 friends, or maybe one of them might be their dad. You don't really know. And and how they come up with ways to like scam society, scam the system, schemes, but none of them are on the same page, and that's where the comedy comes in because they all ruin it for each other, and it never gets old.
Just the plotting, scheming, and just and what they all the different that you're right, all the different things that they want, and the way it all just ruins it for each other. And then I love it when they interact with other people that, you know, they're just getting on with their daily lives and like or just working their jobs. And they interact with them, and the other people are just astounded. They're just like, "Who are you people?"
They're stunned by how narcissistic they are.
Yeah, narcissistic, especially Dennis.
Yeah, who is full-on sociopath.
You're right. It doesn't work without one of them. Like that, you know. They're all 5 of them are crucial.
Yeah. Right. Have you got another TV show to talk about?
Find it really hard to narrow down to a couple, but
That's fine.
I'll name off another one. It's obviously up there. I know it's up there for both of us.
Yep.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what can you say? Just one of the greatest shows of all time, I believe.
So this is so what I had second was Better Call Saul slash Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I like that you put them both together. Slash, okay.
Yeah.
Slightly cheating, but
I think together they are the most consistently high quality, entertaining character studies, dramatic, funny. Like the stakes are so high. It's so good.
The tension, the cinematography, the
writing's genius.
And likable characters.
Yeah. Anti-heroes.
anti-heroes. The character arcs
Yeah.
are just like they just go from here to
Yeah.
you know
The world building.
the world. Oh yeah, it just feels like it's out there somewhere. You know that
Yeah.
it's
Like if we went to Albuquerque,
yeah.
it would just that's what happened there.
Yeah, you just drive past Los Polos Hermanos and um, find the pizza
Yeah.
on the roof.
And the villains, of course, Gus
Yes.
and Lalo, two of the best villains of all time. Yeah.
Well, they're what more can you say about those villains? Yeah. All hail the Gillyverse.
and you can't talk about both of those shows without mentioning El Camino as well, which is essentially 2 more episodes of Breaking Bad stitched together.
Yeah, it's the epilogue.
Yeah, and I thought it was a masterpiece. I saw that it got a few mixed reviews and people weren't that bothered about it, but for me it was a masterpiece. I loved it. It was just consistent with everything the show had done before that.
Yeah, like for me, Jesse was my favorite character.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it was such a great, without giving away spoilers, such a great ending. Yeah. It was like an extension of the finale, wasn't it?
Yeah, complete.
Yeah. I kind of see that as like the finale was the ending of Walt's story, and the film is the ending of Jesse's story.
Yeah.
They're both finales together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Okay. Right, I've got a really obscure TV show. I know it's had a lot of people have seen it, but it may have been forgotten. I'm not sure when it came out. It aired on Cartoon Network. I can't find it. Here we go. In 2014, it's called Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah.
Have you?
I haven't
seen it.
You telling me that you'd watched it?
Yeah, it's the most. Okay, if I was to describe it, it's a 10-part mini series. Each episode's only 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it's a very short TV show, and it's obviously a cartoon, hand drawn, and it's about 2 brothers that get lost in a mysterious land over the garden wall, and they've just got to try and find their way home. And it's kind of got, I don't really know how to describe it, like a Hansel and Gretel vibe.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like it feels like an old story. Like it's really creepy. There's like talking animals, like talking pumpkin heads. There's creepy visuals. Just trippy, weird stuff happening all the time.
It sort of sounds a bit like, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but do you remember Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah.
Is it sort of like that? That's what I have in my head.
It's perfect, yeah. It's Courage the Cowardly Dog meets Hansel and Gretel.
Okay, yeah, sign me up.
And
that sounds good.
It's just so weird. And it's the main character voiced by Elijah Wood, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's that extra element of oddness.
Yeah. But it's just highly entertaining, very satisfying.
Yeah.
And needs to be talked about more.
So yeah. Did you say how many? What are we talking here? How many episodes? Or
like 10 10 episodes, and they're only 10, 11 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's
easy, manageable.
yeah. Watch it in one sitting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you got any others you want to talk about?
Yeah, one I want to talk about quite quickly is Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
So I started watching it season 1 back a few years ago when it first came out, and then I watched season 2, and then I have to say I took a bit of season 3 came out and I didn't watch it as soon as it came out, and then I took a bit of a break from it, and then I watched season 3, and then watched season 4 now when it's just came out, and that's it finished. But now I feel that season 1, fantastic, really picked up then again in season 3 and 4. There are some episodes in season 3 and 4 that are some of the best episodes of television I've ever seen.
Wow. High praise.
The way, honestly, like, and I've no doubt in saying that. Like, you know what, the filmmaking. Like, there's one episode that is one continuous tracking shot.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And it was so well executed. And there's one episode in season 4 where there's one line of dialogue at the start, and then there's like a heist for the rest of the episode, but they don't speak. Like,
I've heard about that. Yeah, I think you might have mentioned it to me.
Yeah, and it's just the score, and you think, and when you're watching, you're like, how did someone think about how to execute this and how to write this? It's just, and then you get to the finale, and it all ties together, and wow, like those 4 seasons, like if I'm gonna watch them again, and they make up such a complete, perfect arc.
It's nice that it's only 4 seasons long as well. They've not overdone it. Yeah,
definitely not. It feels like a story that has been just like beautifully crafted from the start.
Yeah.
Sam Esmail, who wrote and directed a lot of it, he's the showrunner. What he's done.
Yeah.
And I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people haven't watched it. Like, it hasn't got a huge viewer base.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is undiscovered by a lot of people. So yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. Have you watched any of it?
Yes. Off your recommendation years ago, I watched season 1, and I've just never got around to 2. But I think now you've put it back on my radar.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I've got Amazon Prime, so should watch that in this lockdown.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
I did really enjoy season 1. Yeah. And I enjoyed the ending as well, without giving away any spoilers or anything. Yeah, the ending's cool. Awesome. Yeah.
What about you?
There was a few others that I'd just like to quickly mention. Cowboy Bebop is easily one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. 26 episodes, only 20 minutes long per episode. Like and obviously a Japanese anime, but it's just like it's a lot like this other one I want to mention, Firefly.
Yeah.
Firefly cut short. Got a movie though, Serenity, which is really good as well. Obviously season 1 of True Detective, which is hands down a masterpiece.
And season 1 of Fargo.
And season 1 of Fargo. Yep. Yeah. Some amazing TV there. Did you want to quickly mention any others?
Yeah, a few quick mentions for me. I want to mention one that I have recently watched, and I know that did very well at the Emmys actually recently. Fleabag.
Oh yeah. Did you watch?
Yeah.
Did you say you watched it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched. There's 2 seasons, and that's it finished now. But for a British comedy show, is written and starring Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it's just absolutely brilliant TV. Like 6 episodes per season, fantastically written.
Awesome.
Really genius. Like
is that on Amazon Prime? Sorry.
It is on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's available to watch there. But yeah, I can't recommend that enough for British comedy. Also, what we haven't talked about, and I feel that this,
I know you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
I feel like
I was
this is
gonna bring
going
it
to
up.
be this is going to be a big topic going forward because I know that you and I have spent a long time discussing this show over the years.
It still hurts, man. It
I
still
know,
hurts.
and I don't think about it that often, but I feel like it's a glaring one that we need to mention. Game of Thrones.
100%, yeah. Hands down, some of the best TV ever made.
Yeah,
S-
of
it-
course.
Between seasons 1 to 6, just amazing. Even 7's like pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can say a lot about season 8 on the production standpoint and acting as well. But yeah, it'll be a disservice not to mention it.
It would, yeah, and I feel like that will be a topic in the future on the show.
I still think seasons 1 and 4 of Game of Thrones are two of my favorite seasons of any show ever.
Seasons which? Season 1 and 4?
Yep.
Yeah. Season 4 favorite, I think, for me.
Yep. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has got, as you say, some of the best episodes of TV ever written, to be honest, and the production as well. Quick honorable mention, probably one for you, House of Cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool TV show. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously
not getting into all the
Kevin Spacey stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Any others? I've got loads more, but
yeah, there's loads, but
too many to get into.
We can have We'll have to have another topic of TV in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because we could talk for a long time about just one of those shows.
100%, yeah. Okay, now it's the time, I think, to pick a film recommendation for each other, which we will do every week, and we will review the film on the next show, so next week. Right, I've had a few in my head that I know you've not seen that I just love so much, and the best thing about this is we'll finally be able to get to talk about them.
Yeah, it's the catalyst that we need.
Yeah, and I think I'm trying to pick one or a few to begin with that are less risky, and I know that you'll absolutely love. And there is a potential that you have seen it. I don't know for sure, but I'm half certain you've not seen it. So I have a backup if you let me know that you have seen it.
Okay.
Okay. Groundhog Day.
I haven't seen it.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you decide on Groundhog Day?
Well, I was quite a late comer to Groundhog Day. My mum recommended it to me like maybe 5 years ago, and we watched it together. And holy moly, it's just close. Bill Murray is just fantastic, and I know that you like him, and it's just a perfect film. It's a perfect film. It's magical. It's got that cinema movie magic. And yeah, I think you'll love it. Okay.
Great. Okay, so I was, you know how indecisive I am, so this took me a lot longer than it should have. I decided on a film that I think I briefly mentioned to you before. Okay. But I know that you haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really want to talk to you about it, and I know the reason I'm recommending it to you now on the podcast is that I just want you to watch it soon so that we can discuss it, and also because I know that you will absolutely love it, the way the film is and how it turns out. And
okay.
Yeah. It's a Japanese film.
Okay.
called One Cut of the Dead. Okay.
One Cut of the Dead.
Yes. Okay. So I had this recommended to me a few months ago, and I
Yeah.
actually by one of my colleagues. They actually brought in the DVD and just handed it to me and recommended it to me then, which is really really great, isn't it? It kind of because then I felt like, okay, well he's borrowed me the DVD now, so I've got to like watch it and give it back. Like he can't just keep it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I like watched it then, and all he told me was that it was Japanese and that it was a zombie film, a zombie comedy film. So I was just thinking, like, obviously thinking about Shaun of the Dead and everything, and all of that. But I
sounds cool.
Pleasantly surprised.
Nice.
Like it's not, and I would recommend that you go into it not knowing anything else other than it's a zombie film.
Okay.
And it's set in like an abandoned like warehouse. And at the start, this is all I was told. At the start, they've decided that they want to make their own handheld zombie movie. Handheld cameras.
Okay.
So, and then things go from there.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I like the premise.
Yeah, the premise is, yeah. Just yeah, you'll see when you watch it, and we'll be. And I'm excited to discuss it next week because
looking forward to talk about it.
Yeah, and I look forward to talking about Groundhog Day because I've really wanted to watch that, and for whatever reason, when you just want to watch, you have loads of films that you just want to watch, but for the time of whatever happens, you just haven't been able to watch it. Well, that is really high up there, so I'm really, really glad that you've recommended that, because now, like, it'll by the next week, it'll be watched.
Check it off.
Yeah, check it off. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So but it was very close this week. Like I actually had 2 or 3 here, and I've just picked that now. Because I thought, right, I'll pick 2 or 3, and whatever my head tells me to go with at the time,
It sounds like it's something I would enjoy. So
you will. Yeah.
Okay. We've probably got about 5 minutes or so left. Could take the time to just talk about what we've been watching, listening to, or playing recently.
Yeah.
Just in our spare time, especially. I'm sure there's a lot of it with lockdown. So, do you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, I'll keep it really quick. I have told you, recently that I've just been watching a lot of The Office, the US one. I hadn't watched it before, so I'm in the middle of a massive binge. Yeah, absolutely loving it. Season 5, brilliant characters, laugh out loud, silly, just
Yeah, I've just started that as well, but only seen about 5 episodes, so still going.
Yeah. What about you next?
So we've been watching Making a Murderer again. Well, I've been watching it again, and Emily, this is her first time watching it, so that's really awesome. I've not seen season 2, and we've just started season 2 now. It just blows your mind.
Yeah.
Blows your mind. You just don't. It doesn't even seem real.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I can't add anything because I haven't watched it yet. But...
Yeah. It's definitely worth watching. What else? I've been playing a game called Control on PS4, which is you play a girl. It's like a single player story game. You go to how to describe it? It's like a paranormal sci-fi kind of game, and it's like an alternate reality has been breached, and an infection from the other reality is like hitting the world you're in, and you go to the Federal Bureau of, I don't know what it's called, the Bureau, and they are the people who were doing experiments on this kind of alternate reality. And you're basically like 11, an adult version of 11 from Stranger Things. You can use telekinesis, you can fly. You've got this gun that is supposedly another incarnation of Mjolnir. It's so intense, but the gameplay is really fun because you can fly around, shoot, throw objects at the enemies, and you've just got to go deeper and deeper into the bureau to uncover like the secrets of what's really going on.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's about 15 hours long. I'm probably about 10 hours through it.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, it was 20 quid on sale, so just thought I'd get it.
Might actually give it a go.
Yeah, it's worth it.
You've sold it to me.
Yeah, it's good. It's not the best thing I've ever played. Like, I wouldn't say it's great. No, I would say it's great. I wouldn't say it's like a 10 out of 10 or anything. I'd probably give it like an 8.5 or a 9 or something. It's just really good.
It's no a thief's end.
Bloody hell, yeah.
That is
a 10 out of 10. Any music you've been listening to recently?
What have I listened to recently? It just jumps around a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
No real artist that I can pinpoint that I've been listening to like a lot. But you?
Same, with the exception of the Strokes' new album, which is
okay.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa's new album, really like that.
It was needed.
But yeah, the same really, just like a bit of a mixture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to give a shout out to the Strokes' new album, which is absolutely fantastic. So good. I think it's their best since their first. So yeah, good album. All right, is there anything else you want to mention?
No.
Anything you've been watching or?
Anything you've got planned that you want to watch, you think you'll watch in the next while? That's not One Cut of the Dead.
Boogie Nights.
Okay.
I've
seen it before.
I've seen it. It's one of my favorite films. But I've been trying to get Emily to watch it, and she's finally agreed. So I think that's what we're going to watch next. Yeah. What about you?
I think I'm going to watch and we haven't discussed this, is released today. Two things released today before we go. Extraction on Netflix, Chris Hemsworth film.
Extradition. Yeah.
Is it not Extraction?
It might be. I don't know. All right. Well, let's call it that.
We'll find out for
Yeah.
Find out for next week, but it's one of those. Begins with EX.
Yeah. The Chris Hemsworth one.
Chris Hemsworth one, yeah.
Russo brothers.
The Netflix Chris Hemsworth Russo brothers, action film.
So yeah, that's definitely going to be this week for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that this week? Also Afterlife season 2.
Cool.
Is
that out today?
It's out today. Yeah, 6 episodes, about half an hour each. Easy.
Excellent. We'll have to talk about those when we get them watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then, mate. Thanks for that.
Okay.
That has been our first ever episode of the podcast. Looking forward to doing the next one.
Yeah, me too. It's been nice.